So Thich Nhat Hanh's reaction to what the pirate did was sadness, perhaps anger, perhaps whatever. But he didn't drown himself in those feelings. What did he do? He sat and breathed and he looked deeply at the situation. And when he looked deeply, this wisdom came up. So, whoever is the pirate in our life who's making us angry, whatever, instead of just believing our narratives about it, look deeply at the situation, try and contemplate what was this person's childhood like, what was his circumstances, what were the environment, what caused him to be like this. And we always say, I would never do this, I can't accept it because I would never do it. But if you had walked in his shoes, his life, who knows, you might be doing exactly what he did. So that's what Thich Nhat Hanh is pointing to. That I saw all of this and my anger disappeared. My heart was full of the energy of compassion and forgiveness. I could embrace not only the 11-year-old girl in my arms, but also the pirate. I could see myself in them. This is the fruit of the contemplation on emptiness, on interbeing. These are Buddhist concepts where he says everything inter is with everything else. I am because you are. I am like this because you are like that. Everything is seamlessly connected to everything else. Um, I could see that suffering is not only individual, it is also collective. Suffering can be transmitted to us by our ancestors, or it can be there in society around us. As my blame and hatred dissipated, I became determined to live my life in such a way that I could help not only the victims but also the perpetrators. So if you call me Thich Nhat Hanh, I will say, yes, that is me. And if you call me the young girl, I will say, yes, that is me. If you call me the pirate, I will also say, yes, that is me. These are all my true names. If you call me an impoverished child in a war zone with no future, I will say, yes, that is me. And if you call me the arms merchant selling weapons to support the war, I will say, yes, that is me. All these people are us. We inter-are with everyone. So he's talking about the Buddha's beautiful teaching of Pratitya Samutpad or codependent arising, where the Buddha compares the whole universe to a spherical net of translucent colored jewel. So every jewel is the sum total of the color of every other jewel because it's reflecting it. You change the color of one jewel, the color of every other jewel changes. So all of us are so interred with everyone else that, I mean, that's the whole crux of the Ho'oponopono practice we talked about, right? Where the healer was taking each prisoner's photo and asking the universe, forgive me for this crime, because I'm the prisoner also. I am interbeing with the prisoner. I am one with all. So it's never very wise to say, I would never have done that, because you never know if you had experienced the exact traumas, limitations, complexes that the person has experienced, who knows what you would have done. When we can free ourselves from the idea of separateness, we have compassion. That doesn't mean that we don't do our bit to correct the wrong, but we correct the wrong out of compassion, not out of righteous anger. Then our correcting has far more power. We have understanding and we have the energy we need to help. when we work without the idea of separateness. And then the last passage is from Savitri, page 291, where where Sri Aurobindo is talking about this space of oneness for a being who's experiencing this space of oneness. All grew to all, kindred and self and near. The intimacy of God was everywhere. This is such a gorgeous line. Normally, we go about life feeling separate from everyone. But if we are constantly with this thought, everyone is God, you feel intimate to everyone. You'll feel like being kind and smiling at the cab driver, at the passers by. You'll feel a strange kind of inexplicable intimacy with everyone because everyone will be God. The intimacy of God was everywhere. No veil was felt, no brute barrier inert. Distance could not divide, time could not change. A fire of passion burned in spirit depths. A constant touch of sweetness linked all hearts. The throb of one adoration, single bliss, in a rapt ether of undying love. An inner happiness abode in all. One could sense this happy God presence everywhere. An inner happiness abode in all. A sense of universal harmonies. A measureless secure eternity of truth and beauty and good and joy made one. Here was the welling core of finite life. A formless spirit became the soul of form. So beautiful. This whole world is just that, a formless spirit becoming the soul of form. I'll read the whole passage without explanation. All grew to all, kindred and self and near. The intimacy of God was everywhere. No veil was felt, no brute barrier inert. Distance could not divide, time could not change. A fire of passion burned in spirit depths. A constant touch of sweetness linked all hearts. The throb of one adoration, single bliss, in a rapt ether of undying love. An inner happiness abode in all. A sense of universal harmonies, a measureless, secure eternity of truth and beauty and good and joy made one. Here was the welling core of finite life. A formless spirit became the soul of form.